Good evening, hockey fans, and welcome to the Baierl Toyota Ice Complex here in Warrendale, Pennsylvania. It is a PIHL Class Single A matchup in the quarterfinals between the number 3 seed Shaler Area Titans and the number 2 seed Mars Planets. Good evening. My name is Brian Mitchell. Thank you for joining me here on this Monday night. Join me after the last contest, Seneca Valley defeating Pine Richland 3-1. This game will start like this. For the visiting Shaler Titans in the blue with the red and white trim. Head coach, I believe it's Stephen Myers. They are 15-3-1-1, 48 points. It will be number 16, Colby Colamarino. Dylan Marston will be wearing number 17. Darius Malecki will be wearing 18. Jacob Skurlong will be wearing 20. Joshua Yuishka will be wearing number 22. Brett Whiteman will be wearing 23. Jackson Fox, starting in net tonight, will be wearing number 26. John Clark backing him up, wearing 36. Chase Irwin will be wearing number 41. Dylan McGuire will be wearing 42. Thomas Summer will be wearing number 44. Matthew Stellitano will be wearing number 48. Colin Trozzo will be wearing 51. Luca LaQuatra will be wearing number 53. Braden Whiteman will be wearing 59. Blake Whiteman will be wearing number 77. Brendan Fitzgerald will be wearing 85. Roman Angelo will be wearing 88. And Brady Nickel will be wearing 91. For the Titans, to the opposite side, the Mars Planets, number 2 seed, will be led by head coach Cody Black. 16-3-0-0-1 on the season are the Planets. 50 points. Sean Crowley will be wearing number 2. Jack Weaver will be wearing number 4. Garrett Myers will be wearing number 5. Keegan O'Leary will be wearing 6. Shay Clark will be wearing number 8. Grant Weaver will be wearing number 9. Cooper Stevens will be wearing 10. Gavin Stevenson will be wearing number 11. Max Zagorski will be wearing number 12. Colin Stevenson will be wearing number 13. Jack Turch will be wearing number 15. Ben Bowser, 18 for the Mars Planets. Number 23 will be Joey Santa. Adam Gowell will be wearing number 29. And starting in net tonight, Carter Gallagher backing him up, wearing number 30. Alex Scatto will be wearing 33. Xavier Basola will be wearing 50. Matthew Listichin will be wearing number 64. Ethan DeSilva will be wearing 88. Max Pitkins will be wearing 98 for the Planets. Sit back, relax, enjoy a little late contest here at the Baierl Ice Complex. I'm Brian Mitchell. This is TenbandTV. We'll be back in just over 2.5 minutes with your opening face-off. All right, ladies and gentlemen, back here at the Baierl Toyota Ice Complex in Warrendale. Well, we have a final in the game that's prior to this that the winners are going to be facing. That is, of course, Chartiers Valley, the overall #1 seed. They will play the winner of this contest. So thank you if you're joining me from the South Hills. Congratulations on your 5-0 victory. Well, I also have to send my condolences to Mr. Matt Popchak as he will be calling an overtime game at the Island. See, Mr. Kazarowski, that's what you get for wanting to switch games with me. I don't have to stick around later than you do tonight. Long inside story, but that's okay. But this contest, a 2-3 matchup, winner gets the #1 team in all of Single A, the defending Penguins Cup champion, Chartiers Valley Colts. So be ready, be set. It's almost time to go. 17-minute periods, of course. If we need it, overtime is standard 5-on-5, full 17-minute periods with rotating. They'll play 1 period of overtime, cut the ice, play 2 periods of overtime if we need it, cut the ice. I'll be sleeping by the end of the second overtime, so you'll probably just have to follow along on the camera if my camera lady is going to help me out. Kaylee will help me out with that. But I hope it doesn't come to that. Hope these two teams just get this done quick and have some fun while doing it. That's all that matters, having a good time here. High school hockey at its finest. This is the PIHL Class Single A quarterfinals. What exactly are we? Oh, they're going to take pictures for any, I was seeing the camera, there's a door open. They're going to take pictures during the, I was just making sure there wasn't a special presentation or anything. Here comes the national anthem. Real fast as we walk down some of the scores that we had already. Fox Chapel defeating Cannon McMillan to move on to the #1 seed in AA. Seneca Valley defeating Pine Richland, the #1 seed in AAA. Thomas Jefferson falling to Upper St. Clair at Ice Castle, 5-4 matchup. Penn Trafford defeating Bishop McCourt 8-4. Chartiers Valley defeating North Catholic 5-0. That the winner of this game will play Chartiers Valley in the next game. North Hills and Moon, unfortunately for Matt Popchak, is in overtime. He gets to call that one. Greater Latrobe defeating Hempfield 7-3. Neshannock defeating Connellsville 4-3 up in Hess. Cathedral Prep leading 4-0 over Armstrong. Baierl leading Elizabeth Forward 7-2 up at Pittsburgh Ice. Deer Lakes leading Carrick 3-0 at Alpha Ice Complex. And this is the next one to run. We have 2 more to play after this, but ladies and gentlemen, it is time to play some hockey. Grant Weaver ready to go. Going to step in with Blake Whiteman. And we have a face-off won by the Mars Planets. Back around, Stevens will dump this one in. It goes off of a defender, and Skirlong will dump that around coming up. That'll be Liska. Back around Skurlong. Passes it out, goes past Turch. Turch waits, goes behind the cage, thinks about it. Throws one up along the half long. Basola. Back around for Stevens. Just dumps it back in. Uiska will dump it in, and Skurlong around for Malecki. Malecki lets it go, but the Planets will pick it up. Turch will have to regroup, and going back is Malecki. He brings it around, passes out. That'll go past Whiteman and cleared back in. Basola has Weaver going in on the cage. That's going to go up and out of play. 16-15 remaining in the first. Scoreless here at the Baierl Toyota Ice Complex in Warrendale. Thank you for joining me here this evening. Back half of the doubleheader. We're now in the Class A portion of your contests. Face-off will be won back. Around it goes Stevenson. Gets a little bit of pressure from La Quatra. Back around it goes, back and look for Stellatano, but Gatto will pick it off. Coming in, Summer falls down, and it's going to be offside. Fitzgerald needs to back off, or he's going to be called, so they do back off, and regrouping and coming out is Shea Clark. He'll pass it around behind. Weaver's going to chase it down. It's going to be, a big hit from La Quatra on Weaver, and they'll have to regroup. Referee falling, and all of a sudden it's going to be setting the tone early. Clark and La Quatra in there. Clark stands up La Quatra. Weaver will carry it in. Up around Stevenson. Stevenson around. They'll go behind. It'll be picked up. And Arnold will dump this one down. Around Mars. Back up Stevenson. Stevenson shot on. Will be saved. By John Clark. Clark getting the start in the cage this evening. I apologize in my pregame for the incorrect starter. Oh, that might be. No, it is Fox. 3 and 2 got transposed in my head. I apologize. Back around it goes. I usually ask in the pregame whenever I talk to the coaches, and I didn't ask them this time. Stevenson around. Back behind it goes Pickens. Pickens throws one in front. Shot on, score! That'll be Myers. Garrett Myers, who had a big assist last week. 14-29, it is 1-0 in favor of the Planets. Back, here we go. Goal by Myers. And it is 1-0. The first year, Myers with a big goal. I believe that is his first varsity goal. Found one in front all alone and was able to put that one home. Picked up by the Titans. La Quatra is going to chase this one down, but picked up by the Planets. Back goes Smith. No reboot shot, save made by Fox. Mars defeating Meadville last week 9-0 at the Island. I was on a call for that one. Thanks to Tenband and Todd Kazarowski and Finn Kazarowski for working my tech that evening for me. Of course, I have a new technician, Kaylee, helping me out this evening, so thank you. O'Leary's going to bring it in. It's going to be blocked, and in goes Uiska. Going to bring it out. Opportunity here. Whiteman gets stood up big time. Down out it goes Basola. Uiska. And they'll regroup back out. Both these two teams play a physical game. Of course, Mars did not need it last week in a 9-0 victory over Meadville. They both played a very gentlemanly game after it got out of hand. Back out. Clark lets this one go. 2-0 win last week for Shaler over Indiana. Malecki takes a little shot in the back after the play. And out it comes Stevens, passes it up for Basola. Tries to get around a defender. And going down was Uiska. They'll regroup behind the cage. Skurlong will pass it around. It'll be picked up, and unfortunately, Irwin could not get it out of the zone. Skurlong behind the cage. He falls down. Malecki comes in there. Basola tries to take the puck, turns it around, passes it over. Shot on by Weaver, and a save made by Fox. 1-0 is your score. Garrett Myers with the goal for the Planets. And if you didn't guess it from the student section chanting, he is a freshman. He is a freshman. 12:26 to go. Face off one back. Stevenson. Shot tipped in front, goes back out of the zone. The officials will have to regroup back to Stevenson. Stevenson over. That'll go over Crowley. Around, backhanded up by Bowser. Goes behind the cage. LaQuatra. Back up. It'll be dumped down. Picked up. Stevenson. Weaver's shot. Save made. Held on to. Rebound goes back behind. Oh, it gets picked off the goal line by LaQuatra. 12:02 remaining. They'll regroup, and out comes Shaler into the zone. Fitzgerald loses the puck in his skates. Stellitano tries to give Fitzgerald a little bit of help. It'll be picked up by the Planets. They'll go back and around. Fitzgerald takes it. Top of the circles. Fitzgerald. Shot just goes over the head of the starter Gould. Back down Weaver. Or Gowell. You see, I make that mistake for the last couple years, and I said last week I wouldn't do it anymore. I did well last week, and I screwed it up on the first try this week. That's how it works in this game. Back around, Skurlong will carry it out. The captain brings it across the zone into the shot on, blocked by Turch. Skurlong collects it behind his kill cage. Behind the cage, back around. Turch will dump this one out. It goes out and picked up by Uiska. They'll dump that one behind Zagorski on the half wall. Will collect it. He takes a hit, so it's going to be fair game here. Back around. Zagorski does temporarily get it, but shot on. Save made on a shot by Angelo. By Gowell. Skurlong dumps one in behind. Myers on the half wall. Myers with the opening goal here. Back around and out it goes. Matthew Lestichin gets around a couple defenders. Lestichin has Pitkins. Uses him. Shot. Save made by Fox. Rebound comes out. Myers just tries to get out of the zone. Regroups. Back up to Turch. Turch waits. Thinks about it. Backhands it. Doesn't have the puck on his stick when he gets around, so it's going to have to be regrouped and help. Skurlong takes a hit from Lestichin in front of me. And out it goes for Alex Gatto, but regrouping are the Planets. Gatto tries to throw a backhand. Had Malecki a little bit of pressure. He just dumps one in behind Turch, has to collect. Back around, Pitkins can't get to it, and they're going to be offside, so they just dump it in. Opportunity here. It's going to be Gatto. Gatto passes one up. Back for Santa. Santa clears it up and into the zone, and that's going to go on net. Dumped out by Gowell. Up around, Santa will bounce this one out. Has O'Leary, but it's going to be, ooh, a nice little play there by Shalers. Sommer. Irwin gets picked at the blue line. Santa will carry it back in. Santa dumps this one in. Carrying it into the zone, Whiteman. Whiteman keeps it on. Sommer loses it, but opportunity coming the other way. It's going to be O'Leary. They get a line change. It's going to be O'Leary, and I believe that is going to be De Silva coming in. Stevenson will collect it on the half. I'll tip it back. De Silva back to Stevenson. Stevenson will pass it back to De Silva in the near corner. Back out. Shot on by Crowley. Goes in, and that's a goal for Mars. 9:03 remaining. Mars is up 2-0 here at the Baierl Ice Complex. Let's see who they got it. Crowley with the initial shot. We're going to see who they call, if there was a tip on the white side or the blue side. But for now, it is 2-1. Moon defeating North Hills 3-2 in overtime down at the Island. Keegan O'Leary gets the tip in front. 1-0, and it'll be dumped in. 8:57 remaining. It goes back behind. Be cleared out. Opportunity here. Weaver around for Crowley. Crowley dumps one through, picked up by Basola. Basola will dump this one in on net. Ooh, Fox just misplaced it accidentally. And a player gets tripped up going in front of net. We do have a penalty coming up in this one. Basola gets taken down in front of that with 8:35 remaining. Mars will head to the box. Shaler will head to the box. Skurlong not happy about it. Punches the glass on his way in. But it will be a penalty. And that is a power play for the Planets. Mars power play second in single A, 35.4% on the advantage. The penalty kill for Shaler, 7th in single A, 84.7% on the kill. Back around it goes. It'll be picked up by Turch. Turch shot block goes back around the corner. It'll be Fitzgerald. Fitzgerald into the zone. Fitzgerald waits, dumps down, looks behind. Bowser. Bowser picks it up, carries it in. It's up for Stevenson. Stevenson across. And for Bowser, Stevenson looks for Turch. Comes back out of the zone, and it'll be dumped across where Zagorski will pass it back for Turch. They'll regroup into the Basola. Basola's shot goes wide of the net, back for Bowser. Bowser into the near corner. Bowser up, Turch. Shot on low, look for the tip in front. It's going to be Zagorski back, leaving it for Bowser. They'll regroup behind the cage. Basola, a little bit of pressure from LaQuatra. Stevenson passes one out to the point. Zagorski shot, tipped around, rebound Stevenson. Gets around a couple defenders, goes in front. There is an opportunity here. Mars is not going to get the shot off net, but picked up by Shaler and cleared up by Fitzgerald. A speedy winger will get this one back out, but all the way up, Zagorski. Zagorski looking for Basola as he brings it in. He gets hit off the wall by Sommer. It's going to be Zagorski's shot, tipped across. Basola can't finish it. It's going to be held on to by Fox. And 7:16 remaining, 32 seconds remaining in a power play. It is 2-0. Face-off one, back around Stevens. It'll be tied up behind by Uiska. Back up for Weaver. Weaver in the neutral zone. Brings one across. Goes back for Listitchin. They'll regroup behind. Dup Stevens takes the puck behind. We have a penalty coming up, and it will be on Mars this time for a hook. So we'll go 20 seconds of 4x4 before a power play for the Shaler Titans. It's going to be Listitchin for hooking at 6:55 remaining in the first period. Cut it out of the way now. Shaler's power play, 4th in the division, 32.8%. Mars penalty kill, 12th in the division at 77.6%. Back around, it'll be picked up by the Planets, 6:49 remaining in the frame. Back it goes and around. Behind the cage. That'll be picked up by Shea Clark out for Weaver. Weaver to Weaver. Back around. Cleared into the zone. That is Grant Weaver behind the cage. They passed out, and it's going to be a little pressure from Jack Weaver here on thing, but Gowell will get the puck, and a little bit of tomfoolery between Fitzgerald and Clark. And they'll regroup as Fitzgerald ends up on the ice temporarily. Power play has started, 1:30 remaining for the Titans. Fitzgerald loses the faceoff. It'll be cleared back up, and Malecki will get it at the point. Malecki back, finds Skurlong. Skurlong down to the half wall, LaQuatra back to Skurlong. Top of the shot on just wide of Gowell. It bounces around, Clark goes behind, but Fitzgerald will collect it in the far corner. Switches places with Malecki. Fitzgerald back to the top of the circles, comes to the top of the slot. Shot on, bounces, goes behind the cage. Clark will take it, and we have another penalty coming up. A cross check is ahead, and it looks like it's going to be against Mars, meaning that you've got a minute 2 of 5x3 coming up at 5:56. It's going to be Gatto with a cross check. Big time for Shaler to try to get back in this contest. 5-on-3 for a minute 2. 2 minutes on an additional back to the point. Skurlong waits, thinks about it. As Bowser in front of him, throws one on net, bounces it around. Stelitano tries to get it. It's going to be cleared out nicely by Mars. I believe that was Zagorski. Back, Skurlong behind his own cage. Has LaQuattro with him. They regroup. They'll set up the offense. Skurlong has Skeletano behind him. Waits, thinks about it. Decides to go across for Fitzgerald. Up to Malecki. Malecki, top of the circles. Waits, thinks about it. Wheels back up and switches with Skurlong. Malecki over to Skurlong, top of the circle shot. Looks for the tip in front, goes wide. Malecki's going to chase it in front of the Mars bench. Keeps it in. Bounces it down along the half wall. Looking for LaQuattro, but it goes a little bit of a weird bounce. Bowser will clear. 12 seconds remaining on the 5-on-3. It'll be tipped up by Zagorski, and high fly to center field is caught on the bench by Basola. 5:02 remaining. Face-off will come all the way down to the left of Gowell. 8 seconds remaining in a 5-on-3. Whiteman wins the face-off back. It'll be picked up. Carrying it in. Shot on. Scores! Yuska! And it's 2-1. Penalty expired. So I believe that is going to be a 5-on-4 goal. Let's see what they say. I didn't get an exact look at it, but it is 2-1. Yuska's goal went through everything. Yes, it will be a power play goal on a 5-on-4. Shots are 10-2 in favor of the Mars Planets now, but score is 2-1. 4:53 remaining. Again, are the Planets picking up, carrying it in is Fitzgerald. Fitzgerald gets around a couple defenders. Stevens behind the net. Turch waits for Fitzgerald, getting around to the half wall. Basola, a little bit of pressure separates him from the puck. It'll be Weaver passing it out, but it's going to be Shaler coming back in. Opportunity here. Fitzgerald had Angelo go into the net. Weaver came in from behind and was able to stop him from playing that puck. So it'll be picked up, and Angelo will pass this one up to Summer. Summer, shot low, tipped around. Weaver shot opportunity, tip in, rebound, and goes down. Still loose, it is! Still loose, still loose, still loose, and they're going to whistle it dead. The officials are going to see the pucks outside of the goal line, and they'll call that one 2-1 still. They had Gowell down. The puck was loose. Nobody could get a stick on it to lift it. 4:17 remaining in the first frame. We'll have another face-off to the left of Adam Gowell. Outside of the Stevenson, Zagorski, and O'Leary, and Ben Bowser, all juniors or younger for Mars. Back around Bowser. It's the same thing on the opposite side. Shaler, a very young squad this year. Malecki and Skurlong, as well as Clark, your seniors with Fitzgerald. So these two teams are built for next year, too. We've got a good base going into the next season. Weaver steps in with Whiteman. It'll be one back, shot in by Clark. 3:57 remaining in the first frame. Cleared around Weaver. Looks for the wraparound. Save made by Fox. Rebound comes out. Bowser, hard time with it. It'll be picked up and cleared up. Past LaQuatra. He'll pass it past Marsden, and they will have another face-off. 3:43 remaining. Line changes aplenty, coming back down to what is your score? Mars leading Shaler. Back down, Listitchin. They'll lose the face-off, coming out Malecki. Past Irwin. Back for Whiteman. It's going to be Listitchin getting lit up by Whiteman. The big man sends him down. Myers is going to carry it in. Myers with the opening goal here. Looks for the wraparound, gets into the corner. Myers, top of the circle, leaves it for Crowley. Crowley behind for Listitchin. Listitchin. Back behind. Myers. Back up to the point. Shot on low. Look for the tip in front. Listitchin will battle with Skurlong. Back around. Pitkins leaves it around. Backhanded in. Pitkin's shot just goes wide of the cage. Listitchin will leave this one up. It's going to go and clear the length of the ice, and that's enough for an icing. 2:51 remaining in the first frame. 2-1 is your score. We will have another face-off. Let's see what we got going on outside of here, of the games that are still in action. Oh, you got it. Cathedral Prep leading Armstrong 4-0. Baierl leading Elizabeth Forward 7-2. Deer Lakes over Carrick 3-1 right now. Mars to Shaler 2-1 here. South Fayette leading Mount Lebanon. That's a huge number right now, 1-0. And Quaker Valley and Avonworth scoreless at the island. Back around we go. Fitzgerald throws one through, looking for Stellatano. It bounces up off of Gowell. They're both trying to play the puck. So it'll be LaQuatra passing it across. Look for the tip in red by Somers. Weaver passes it out for Basola. Coming in is LaQuatra. Low shot, wide of the cage. Picked up Stellatano. Passes it behind, picked around, and Summer will let that one go for an icing call. 2:12 remaining in the first frame. Yeah, Moon getting the overtime victory at the island in the first game. Colomarino. This is the face-off up. It's going to be picked up. Bowser. The puck is sitting on the half wall. It's very few times you actually get to see that in this game. Back around Skurlong. Gets cleared up, and Turch will take it. Back around, up past Marsden. Stevenson couldn't play it, so it's going to be picked up. Bowser coming the other way. Bowser and Weaver. Bowser on the backhand. The captains will go into the corner. A little bit of pressure there, and it'll come back out. Looking for Zagorski. It bounces off a defender back off of Zagorski's face. Shaler will pass it up, but it's going to go straight to Turch, and he'll regroup. Bowser will dump this one in. Colomarino will run him into the boards. That'll be Yuska, the goal scorer. Getting the puck, picked up Colomarino. Looking for Marston. No kill, carried in himself. Shot low, save made by Gowell. Rebound by Zagorski. It's going to be picked up. Opportunity here by Colomarino. Top of the circle, tries to get around a defender. Zagorski will run him over. And carrying it out of the zone is Gavin Stevenson. Over for Weaver. Jack Weaver will carry it in. It'll be picked off. Malecki has a hard time collecting that one, so we'll have to pass it back to LaQuatra. Back for Malecki. Waits, throws one up in front to LaQuatra, who had a steam into the zone. The big man will dump this one into the far corner. Malecki gets hit by Shea Clark. Rounder will go for Summer. Summer shot low, tipped around. Rebound goes to the corner. Irwin shot on wide of the cage, or behind the cage actually. Picked up and carrying it out. And off of the glass was Gatto. Back around. Picked up by Irwin, and he'll dump that back into the zone past Clark. Clark in the far corner. Passes it up to Santa. Back for Stellatano. Stellatano's shot save made, goes into the corner, up to the half wall. That'll be Whiteman throwing one through, and it goes off a couple defenders right to a blue band stick. It's back around. Stellitano's shot saved by Gowell. Rebound comes on. Another Shaler opportunity here. And that snuck up on me. That's the end of the first frame with your score. The Mars Planets 2, the Shaler Titans 1. We'll be back with your second period momentarily here at the Baierl Toyota Ice Complex.
Head, shoulders, knees, and toes. Head, shoulders, knees, and toes, knees and toes. Head, shoulders, knees, and toes, knees and toes. And eyes and cheeks and mouth and nose. Head, shoulders, knees and toes, knees and toes.
Affordable self-care from professional massage therapists and estheticians. It's what we do. Massage Envy, where better begins.
Look at him, bright-eyed, bushy-tailed, climbing his way through the corporate rat race. We've all been there, focused on that next raise, promotion, chocolate. Keeping an eye on your health can be exhausting. Weight Loss Direct is a personalized wellness and weight loss program. We utilize an AI algorithm to determine your specific foods and match you with a real-life coach and an easy-to-follow meal plan so you could stay on track to success and health. Check out weightlossdirect.com to learn more.
Back here with your second period from the Baierl Toyota Ice Complex in Warrendale. Single A matchup between the Shaler Titans and the Mars Planets. Mars leading 2-1. Winner of this contest goes to face the Chartiers Valley Colts next Wednesday at 6:45 at the Island. 6:45 face-off on Wednesday. Moon defeating North Hills. They will move on to face the winner of the second game at RMU this evening. You can watch over on a separate channel. And that will be at 8:45 next week at the Island. Back around is picked up. It'll be Myers in the corner. Myers leaves it out for Lestichin. Lestichin will carry it into the zone. Lestichin falls down as he's going. Yuska. Back down for Malecki. Back for Irwin. Into the zone. Irwin waits. Gets around a defender. It'll go behind the cage. Comes back out. And back around Myers. Couldn't collect it. That'll be offside, and they will regroup, come outside the zone for another face-off in the second frame. Face-off in the neutral zone. It'll be won by Shaler. Back around, Fitzgerald loses the puck to Weaver. Grant Weaver is around, tries to get around a defender, has Stellitano all over him. It's going to be picked up behind the cage by Sommer. Sommer leaves it behind LaQuatra. He's the regroup. Will be cleared up past by Stevens. Back down, Basola will dump this one in behind the cage. LaQuatra regroups, will dump this one up along the half wall. And back out Mars, regroups, dumps this one out for Basola. They'll go back and forth. Angelo goes through it. Weaver loses it in a skate. They're going to play catch a little bit. Summer will bring it in. Just goes, oh, that was a stick save off the shaft by Gowell. Another save there. Rebound comes out into the far corner. Basola looks like Stevens was looking at getting run over. LaQuatra and Stevens having at it, but it's going to be Basola bringing it back inside the zone. Going behind the cage, trying to clear it out, but kept in by Stevens. It'll go around. Back for Summers. Basola around. Weaver's going to stay on. They'll reset, and a little extra LaQuatra and Bowser tie up in the corner. Back down and cleared out, picked up by Stellitano, tries to get around. He gets topped off by Clark. Back behind, Gatto will pass this one around, looking for Jack Weaver, and it'll be cleared up. Opportunity coming the other way. It'll be Stevenson. And around, gets around a couple defenders, fires a shot off, and Fox is able to make the save. 14:04 remaining in a second. That was just luck incarnate as that puck was just left. He went around the defenders that were gunning for him and was able to pick it up and fire a shot from the top of the circles. We'll have another face-off to the left of Jackson Fox, the junior. Weaver steps in with McGuire. It'll be picked up by Skurlong. He'll dump it up to Marsden. Marsden tries to get around a defender. Clark stands him up. Coming in is McGuire. He throws one through. Opportunity here for the Titans. Back around Skurlong to the half wall. Goes into the corner. It's going to be picked up by Whiteman. Braden Whiteman will dump this one around. That'll be picked up by Dylan Marsden. And Marsden will just let this one go for Stevenson. Stevenson up, finds Weaver. Jack Weaver will bring it across. Opportunity for Mars, gets hit from Skurlong behind the cage. Ben Bowser waits, thinks about it, throws one up to Clark. Clark shot through, looks for the tip in front by Weaver. It gets bounced back into the near corner. It's going to be Bowser, back to Clark. Clark goes to the circles, waits, thinks about it, fires one. It goes off of Fox and ends up at the bottom of his feet. 13:15 remaining in the second frame. 2-1 Mars leading Shaler here at the Baierl Toyota Ice Complex. Okay, so the official thing from Moon. The game went to overtime. Moon won on a shorthanded penalty shot. Put that on your bingo card. Lestitchin will step in. And Whiteman. How often do you hear a game-winning overtime shorthanded penalty shot? Zagorski shot around. If you're playing fantasy hockey with that kid, you just made like 15 points. Back around it goes. Myers will dump that back down. Whiteman. That's coming from Todd Kazarowski, working down at RMU. LaQuatra shot just wide of the cage. Malecki goes around. Whiteman. Back up to Sommer. It's going to bounce off his stick and clear out. Shots are 13-8 in favor of Mars. Myers back around for Basola, and it's going to go Zagorski. Up around Lestitchin will dump that one down. Looking for LaQuatra. LaQuatra leaves one into the corner. Coming across for Sommer. Tom Sommer will just dump this one out. Pick it up by Stellitano. Matt Stellitano loses the puck in the circles. Is going to be picked up by Turch. He'll carry it out of the zone. LaQuatra chips it off him, but Turch gets it back. He comes in opportunity here. He had Pitkins go into the net, but unfortunately the bouncing puck was unable to get touched. Stellitano back in, has Irwin go into the cage. He throws it on net, and Gowell will just glove it down and hold on to it. 11:56 remaining in the second frame. Fun little contest here at the island. Angelo will step in with Weaver. And it'll be won by Shaler. They'll get a shot off, goes off behind in the near corner. Picked up. That'll be Angelo going behind for Stellitano. Back for Fitzgerald on the half wall. Gets around a couple defenders. Fitzgerald waits and is going to be picked off by Grant Weaver, and it's going to come out. Xander Basola will dump this one in behind the cage. Xavier Basola leaves this one for Grant Weaver. Basola comes to help him out. Down Stevens. Oh, check to the face. No call on that play. Back around they go. Stevens for Crowley. Rebound comes out. Stevens top of the circles. Basola shoots one off the side of the net. Back down Uriska. Uriska back out to Stellitano. He'll carry it out of the zone. Stevens will go after Stellitano along the penalty boxes, and it's going to be Fitzgerald bringing it in. Fitzgerald's shot goes off the outside of the bar. Picked up. Stellitano can't get to it, so he has to regroup. 10:51 remaining in the second frame. Back it goes Fitzgerald into the near corner. Fitzgerald along the half wall. It's cleared up. And it was face-off coming up. This is held on to by Gowell, and we'll regroup. We go back. Back here, we'll have a face-off to the left of Gowell. And we'll go back to another face-off. They're going to bring the face-off all the way back down here, as there's going to be a penalty coming up. Fitzgerald's off the ice for something, and they're talking in the penalty box. It's a power play coming up for Shaler. I'm sorry, for Mars. They're talking about it. See what the official call is here in a second. Face-off will be one back Zagorski. Back out Turch. Back to Zagorski. Zagorski comes across. Bowser's shot goes off a defender, goes back behind the cage. Stevenson will throw this one behind for Basola. That's going to be bounced and cleared out past all the officials back into the far corner. And in the near corner on the far side. 10:23 remaining, 1:41 remaining in the power play for the Shaler, for the Mars Planets. Back up we go. Mars brings it across, looks for Basola. He falls down, so they need to regroup. Turch carries it back in across the blue, across the opposite blue. Back in. Gets in behind the cage. Summer breaks him off the puck. Zagorski, shot comes around looking for Turch. Back around Stevenson. Bowser back to Turch. Shot on, blocked. Rebound comes on to Irwin. Irwin's going to pick it up and just clear it out of the zone. It's going to go to Zagorski, but Irwin's going to get pressure back on. He's going to dump it back in. Sommer will just dump this one out to Zagorski. He'll play it over the Turch, and they'll regroup. 54 seconds remaining in the power play. Carrying it in is Stevenson. Gavin Stevenson goes behind the cage. Has Zagorski at the point. Uses his point man. Back to Stevenson. Loses it off of his skate. It's going to be Sommer dumping this one off of the half wall. And 9:19 remaining, 36 seconds remaining in the penalty. We'll have another reset for Zagorski. He'll pass this one clear out for Basola. Basola tries to get around a defender. Skurlong, good play to play that one off of everybody and all the way down behind Gowell. 9 minutes remaining in the second frame, 19 seconds remaining in the power play. Mars will set this one up, looking for Listitchin on the goal, and it's going to go all the way to the lake. We bounce around for Whiteman. That comes out. Penalty will expire here in 5 seconds. Back down Clark. Clark has Gatto in front. Listitchin's coming up, and his change out finds a Weaver and Stevens. And Weaver's going to try to get to it. Gets around Yuska. Yuska is going to play him tough along the half wall, and it's going to be picked up Listitchin. Back to Clark. Taps it off. Finds Grant Weaver. Weaver's going to try to carry it in. Gets around Yuska. Comes in as Listitchin in front. Looks in front. Oh! Gets tipped around. It's going to be held on to by Fox. Rebound goes around the side of the building. It's going to be shot on by Gatto. Rebound comes back out to the slot. Shot on. Stevens looks for it. It's going to be a penalty coming up, probably against Weaver. It's going to be a cross check. Let's see what they say. Yuska is down and not. He's going to try to get back to the bench. He is not. He's having a hard time getting back on his own as Weaver heads off. They're going to get him back to the bench. There's a little bit of an interesting pile-up in front of the cage. It looked like that Weaver was on top of Yuska for an extended period of time. Going to get him the EMT over to check him out. 2 minutes for Weaver. Power play coming up for the Titans. Back down. Fitzgerald back up to the point. Picked up for Skurlong. Skurlong over to Malecki. Malecki comes in wide. Shot. Score! Stellitano with the goal. And we are tied here at Baierl. Stellatano tips one past and through and makes it 2-2 in the second. 7:54 remaining in the second frame. New hockey game here at the Baierl Ice Complex. The Stitchin's going to step in with Angelo. Well, let's see who they're going to line up with him. Angelo. Face-off's going to be won by, well, they're tied up still. And now it's going to be Fitzgerald carrying it out of the zone. Fitzgerald and shot on just wide of the cage. And it goes out of play. 7:44 remaining in the frame. Face off to the right of Gowell. Lestitchin and Angelo. One back to Fitzgerald. Fitzgerald carrying it into the zone. Shot on. Blocked. Rebound comes out. Stellatano looking for another one. Back up it goes. Going to be cleared out by Myers. Myers tips an opportunity here. Myers turns in back to it. Myers just goes into the near corner. He's going to get hit by Skurlong. Back down around it goes. Skurlong and Myers still down in the cage in front of this student section to my left. Back around it goes Stellatano. Stellatano, one to beat here. Stellatano has Stevenson. Shot on, just goes wide of the cage. Has Skurlong down along the half wall. Skurlong throws one through. It's going to be picked up by Pitkins. Pitkins coming the other way. Has Myers. He waits. He loses the puck. It's going to be back to Myers. Myers on the backhand. Angelo throws him into the wall. He'll go back. Yuska's back out there, which is a good sign for the defender. It's going to be picked up by Pitkins. It's going to be Yuska taking it. It's going to be tipped back out. And coming the other way is O'Leary. Offsides is the play. 6:42 remaining in the second. Shots are now 13-10 in favor of the Mars Planets. Back in. O'Leary steps in with Whiteman. Whiteman back for Irwin. Santa leaves this one around. It'll go up the boards. Malecki will take it on the backhand. Picked off. Mars the other way. Santa. Shot. Save made by Fox. LaQuatra behind the cage. He gets knocked down. That's a penalty coming up against Mars. 6:22 remaining in the frame, and they'll have a face-off coming down as Mars is heading to the box for a trip. The aggrieved party will head to the box. And it looks like it will be Joey Santa heading for a trip. Of course, Shaler getting a power play goal, getting 2 power play goals so far in this contest. Back on another advantage. This way. That way. Okay, then. All right, 6:12 remaining. The faceoff come back to Skurlong. Skurlong takes it back to the point. Skurlong, shot on, goes through, and back to Malecki. Skurlong back up to the point. LaQuatra's shot comes across, picked up by Malecki. Malecki back to Skurlong. Skurlong's waffled off by Gowell. It'll be LaQuatra on the half wall, back up. Finds Fitzgerald, back to Skurlong. Skurlong, shot low. Scores! LaQuatra with the tip, and it is 3-2. Shaler here. LaQuatra with another power play goal. That's 3 power play goals for the Titans. They'll regroup. 5:38 remaining in the second frame. And we will have another face-off here at the Baierl Ice Complex. Face-off's won forward by Mars. It'll be back for Stevenson carrying it in. Stevenson shot. Scores! The Planets tie it up. And it is 3-3 here at the Baierl Toyota Ice Complex. 5:27. The time of the goal for Gavin Stevenson. All right, face-off coming up at center. Ben Bowser is going to step in with Whiteman. Will be won back by Bowser for Zagorski. Zagorski up around, regrouping, bounce out all the way the length of the ice. That's going to be icing on the play. 15:19 remaining in the second frame. All right, we're going to go back all the way down to the left of Gowell. Back down. Shot on, saved by Gowell. Face off, one shot on. Past Gowell was going to keep outside. Comes Mars. Mars is going to be picked up and dumped in by Weaver. Back around it goes. Cleared out. And pass to Zagorski. Zagorski into the zone. He'll dump this one up along the half wall. Ben Bowser loses that puck. Stevenson. Back around. He picked up, carrying it in. Is Weaver. He'll dump it out. Malecki clears it in, and Stevenson goes back and forth. They'll regroup. Picked up Bowser. Ben Bowser into the zone with Weaver. On the half wall, Bowser up to the point. Turch, he bounces it off a stick, and it's going to be picked up. They're going to have to throw that on net. Bowser's offside. That's an easy call. That's coming back out and all the way. So here we go. Face off in front of the Mars bench. It'll be cleared up, and Weaver will dump this down. Basola around. Backhand shot blocked by Skurlong. Rebound comes in for Fitzgerald. Fitzgerald into the zone. Gets blocked around. Picked up Crowley. Goes into the corner of Fitzgerald. That's a penalty coming up against Crowley. Another penalty coming up against Mars. Yuska will dump this one in back to Skurlong, and it's going to be out of the zone. They'll regroup. 3:59 remaining in the second frame. Now Shaler, with 3 power play goals, heads back to the advantage as Crowley heads off for a tripping minor at 3:59 remaining in the second frame. Face-off coming up to the left of Mars. Listichin, and be won by Fitzgerald. Skurlong passes this one back into the near corner. He picked up. Fitzgerald, shot, save made, held on to by Gowell. 3:48 to go, 1:49 remaining in the power play for Shaler. Fitzgerald, Listichin, stepping up. It'll be face off to the left of Gowell. Back around Clark. Clark looks to go back behind. It's Fitzgerald. Fitzgerald up for LaQuatra. LaQuatra for Skurlong. Back to LaQuatra. Gets to the top of the circles. Back down to the half wall. It'll be Fitzgerald. Skurlong waits. Back to Fitzgerald on the half wall. The circle comes in. Shot. Save made. Held on to. And they'll regroup. Another face-off coming up to the right of Shaler. The right of Gowell. They'll all get, well, most of them will change up. Mars will get a whole new set of penalty killers out there. 3:26 to go. Fitzgerald will step in with Jack Weaver. Face-off will be won by Fitzgerald. Back LaQuatra for Skurlong. Back to LaQuatra. Top of the circle. Tip this one and it bounces it around behind. Zagorski throws this one back out. LaQuatra on the half wall. Skurlong. Pressure from Weaver. Shot on, goes up in the air. Gal will let that go. Tipped up high, comes back. It's going to be cleared. Back to Skurlong. Skurlong back down for Malecki. Malecki, shot by LaQuatra, goes wide of the cage. Skurlong in a near corner, waits for it. Back to Fitzgerald. Back up to LaQuatra. He has it on the half wall, tries to take it to the backhand, throws one up along. Back for Fitzgerald. It will be Turch collecting it, but Fitzgerald will be the one that finishes with it. Skurlong shot, tip through. Rebound comes out, Stellitano. 41 seconds remaining in the power play. Fitzgerald back for Skurlong. It'll be tipped back around. Turch is going to take it the other way. Opportunity here for the Planets. Turch, shot just wide of the cage. 3-3 is your score. Second period, 2:26 remaining. 26 seconds remaining in the power play for Shaler. Fitzgerald coming in. Gets around the defender. Fitzgerald looking past O'Leary. O'Leary all over him. Fitzgerald and O'Leary go into the wall. Puck comes in and around into the near corner. Shot on, blocked, and it goes off of Zagorski, and he's not feeling well right now. Zagorski a little bit stung by that shot. He's regrouping. He's struggling on it, but he's going to get back around. Zagorski goes around, comes back up. It's going to be Yushka. Dump this one back in, throws through the crease. Nobody home. Penalties expired. Here we go. LaQuatra's going to dump this one down behind. It's going to be Weaver. Weaver going back out past Skurlong. It's going to be Turch. And now we go into the central, into the neutral zone. Shot on by Turch. Goes on Fox and held on to. 1:33 remaining in the second frame. 17-17 are your shots. 2-2 is your score. Sorry, 3-3 is your score. Back around. It'll be Ben Bowser stepping in. Shot on by Basola, goes off of Fox and off probably, I believe, the side of the net afterwards. Bowser waits, throws one up to Gatto. Gatto passes one down. Stevenson all alone shot, save made, and they'll dig into it. But LaQuatra and clears out Basola and held on to. 1:20 remaining in the second frame. Face off to the left of Fox. The junior netminder from Shaler. Goes back. Sommer throws one off of a high stick. Basola does get it back around. It cleared out. Clark up for Stevenson. Stevenson into the zone. Gets around a defend. Oh, nice play by LaQuatra to keep him out of the play. Back around Irwin. Irwin passing it in. Bringing it in is Gatto. He'll dump that into the near corner. They'll go back down. Cleared out. And the length of the ice. Oh, Stevenson's going to beat them. Stevenson into the near corner. Throws one into the crease. Nobody home. And they'll go back. Malecki back for LaQuatra into the zone. LaQuatra with 36 seconds remaining in the second period. Back down it goes. They'll battle in the near corner. We got Whiteman. We've got Irwin. A couple of Planets in there. Looks like we've got Ben Bowser. I think that's Ben Bowser down there. I can't tell in these near corners. Yep, that is Ben Bowser, and it looks like it might be Shea Clark. They're just going to burn some time. 12 seconds remaining. Yep, Bowser and Clark were the ones that were down in the corner. Basola throwing one up for Stevenson. It does go in, but it's going to be offside if they touch it, and that is offside. 4 seconds remaining in the second frame. Face-off will come outside the zone, and we'll regroup. Little extracurriculars going on afterwards. Fitzgerald and Bowser. Let's see what they do. It's actually going to be down here to our left, directly actually in front of us where we're set up here. And that is going to be it for the second period. Your score going into the ice cut. The Mars Planets 3, the Shaler Titans 3. Winner takes on Chartiers Valley next week at the Island on Wednesday. I'm Brian Mitchell. This is TenbandTV. We'll be back with your third period in a couple minutes.
Are you ready to take your game to the next level? Hey, I'm Tyler Kennedy, 2009 Pittsburgh Penguins Stanley Cup champion here, and trust me, I know what it's like to play to the max. That's why I recommend the patented Heads-Up Sports Training System, improving reaction time and your spatial awareness with this dynamic training system all at your fingertips. Train smarter with endless applications for any position. It's that simple. HeadsUpSTS.com. Play with your head up.
Head, shoulders, knees, and toes. Head, shoulders, knees, and toes. Knees and toes. Head, shoulders, knees, and toes. Knees and toes. And eyes and cheeks and mouth and nose. Head, shoulders, knees, and toes. Knees and toes.
Affordable self-care from professional massage therapists and estheticians. It's what we do. Massage Envy, where better begins.
Look at him, bright-eyed, bushy-tailed, climbing his way through the corporate rat race. We've all been there, focused on that next raise, promotion, chocolate. Keeping an eye on your health can be exhausting. Weight Loss Direct is a personalized wellness and weight loss program. We utilize an AI algorithm to determine your specific foods and match you with a real-life coach and an easy-to-follow meal plan so you could stay on track to success and health. Check out weightlossdirect.com to learn more.
Discover the heart of Pittsburgh at Mount Washington Shop and Save. At Mount Washington Shop and Save, we're more than just a grocery store. We're your neighborhood destination. From the freshest local produce to gourmet delights, we've got it all under one roof. Experience convenience, quality, and savings, all in the heart of Mount Washington. Mount Washington Shop and Save, where Pittsburgh shops with a view. Shop smart, shop local, shop Mount Washington Shop and Save.
13 games on the schedule tonight. Let's get through them. Fox Chapel defeating Cannon McMillan. And we'll go right down the list. Penn Trafford defeating Bishop McCourt, meaning it's going to be Fox Chapel and Penn Trafford, 7 p.m. next Tuesday in the AA semifinals. And then Cathedral Prep, I believe, yes, Cathedral Prep defeating Armstrong 4-0. And Greater Latrobe defeating Hempfield. That is a 7-3 final from Kirk Nevin Arena. 9 o'clock will be your Cathedral Prep Greater Latrobe game next week at the Island. In AAA, Seneca Valley will face USC at 7:15. Mount Lebanon and South Fayette. Currently, South Fayette leading Mount Lebanon. The 7-2 matchup at the Mount Lebanon Ice Center. That winner will face tomorrow's matchup winner of North Allegheny Central Catholic here at Baierl. That will be on the TenbandTV network. Single A, this one's important, as the winner of this contest will face Chartiers Valley next week at 6:45. And then Moon will face the winner of the Avonworth Quaker Valley game at 8:45 next Wednesday. That game is currently 4-1 Avonworth. And another big matchup shocker right now. Move along into D2. Neshannock won today. They defeated Connellsville 4-3 up at Hess. Mount Lebanon, they'll play the winner of Gateway. And Morgantown, they play tomorrow at Princescape Arena. They changed the arena on that because right now, currently, the Morgantown Ice Center has no ice. It is being renovated. So they had the almost perfect season for the Morgantown Mohawks, and they are going to be unable to play a home game in the first round. So they go on to that. And then Burrell will face the winner of Deer Lakes and Carrick. Deer Lakes currently leading Carrick 4-2 at the Alpha Ice Complex. So we've got a couple really big, I won't call them upsets, but they're definitely close to it, as close as you can get. Avonworth and Quaker Valley, that's a matchup. The Quaker Valley is just a very solid team this year. I didn't see that one coming on the standings. Avonworth leading 4-1. Came out to a 4-0 lead in that first period. Zavosky, Jensenowski, Powell, and Dolan with goals. Quaker Valley getting one from Vassbinder. That game is in the first intermission, so they got a little bit of time on that one. That one started late because of the overtime game between Moon and North Hills. So we got a lot of movement tonight in this contest, but this one is far from over, as we've got a 3-3 game here at the Baierl Toyota Ice Complex in Warrendale. Mars and Shaler. Let's take a look in as how we got here. Mars took a 2-0 lead on goals from Garrett Myers and Keegan O'Leary. 2:31 and 7:58 in the first. Shaler coming back into it as Josh Ushka scores a power play goal at 12:07. And then two straight power play goals by Shaler from Matthew Stellitano at 9:06 and Luca LaQuatra at 10:43. Brought that one 3-2 Shaler. Mars was able to tie it up only 50 seconds later as Gavin Stevenson's even strength goal at 11:33 brought it back. Looking at it, Jackson Fox, 15 saves on 18 shots. Adam Gowell, 14 saves on 17 shots for Mars. The big story in this one is the power play for Shaler, getting 3 power play goals, 3 for 5 on the day. We will be back with your third period here momentarily at the Baierl Toyota Ice Complex.
Hey there, hockey fans! You already know TenbandTV can stream live regional sports. But did you know you can also stream the best of the local music scene as well? Music from the 412 is live and streaming 24/7 on 10bandTV. Watch music videos, concerts, and original programming free from the comfort of your couch. Featuring the best of music and artists from Pittsburgh and Western PA. Tune in today.
Back here at the Baierl Toyota Ice Complex in Warrendale. It's 3-3 as we head into the final 17 minutes of regulation. This game has been topsy-turvy as we go. A little bit of chippy, a little bit skill set, a lot of shots, and a lot of fun as we move along in here. Winner gets to play Chartiers Valley next week at the Island at 6:45 on Wednesday. So we get a little extra time off. Tomorrow you'll be able to catch the 2 games. We will have 1 game right here at Baierl. That'll be North Allegheny and Central Catholic. That will be at 8:30, and that will be on TenbandTV. The other game will be the D2 matchup between Morgantown and Gateway. There will be no broadcast for that due to issues beyond our control. We got a 13 out of 16 games this year. Good for the first round, then the rest of the way. Next week, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. The semifinal games at Robert Morris, 2 games each. And then we move on to our Penguins Cup Championships on the 17th and 18th up at the Lemieux Sports Complex. All on 10bandTV. Then the following Saturday, the Single A, AA, AAA State Championships and the Challenge Cup for the D2 teams. But with that being said, we got to get there first. And how to get there? We got to play the games, and we're going to go through this round now. Here we go. 17 minutes of time. 3-3 is your score. They step in. Whiteman will step in with Weaver, and we are underway here in the third period. Basola will carry it in. It'll go off the skates of Skurlong. They battle in the near corner. Back around it goes. Basola leaves it. Weaver breaks his stick. Out to go back out and replace it. Zagorski gets the puck. Throws one across, looking for Stevens. And there'll be an icing call on a play. 16:43 remaining in the third frame. Third period action here at the Baierl Toyota Ice Complex. I'm Brian Mitchell. Thank you for joining me on 10band.tv. Face-off coming up to the left of the Mars net. Gowell goes back to Zagorski. Takes the puck, throws one up. Picked up by Stevenson. It'll be go off the stick of Bowser and deep into the zone. That will be an icing call once again. 16:32 remaining. In this frame, we'll do it all over again. Back it goes. I guess I'll flip over my roster card from my notes in the pregame. And here we go. Offside is the call, 16:23 to go. Face-off will be directly in front of the Shaler bench. And to get the penalty box minder back in his section. Bowser and Angelo have a little disagreement off the face-off. Angelo and Bowser go at it again. It'll be won by Mars. Turch dumps one into the zone. It'll go behind and around, picked up by Fitzgerald. Dumps one up along to Stellatano, but it's squeezed nicely, picked up by Turch. Turch is going to carry it back in. Brings it in, throws one across, looking for Zagorski. Zagorski bounces one on net, blocked, cleared up, and out by Thomas Summer. Back around it goes for Weaver. Back around, Sommer. Back down, picked up by LaQuatra. Bowser gets hit by LaQuatra. They'll go back and forth. Stevenson skates it up to the top of the circle, thinks about it, goes to the top of the slot. Back down into the near wall. Turch. Shot. Scores! Jack Turch with the goal, and it is 4-3 Mars. Turch fired one through. 15:26 remaining in the third. We have a Turch with the goal. 4-3 is your score. 15:26 remaining. Back it goes. Clark into his own zone. Clark waits, throws one up, finds Pitkins. Pitkins will bounce one around. It goes through off Skurlong. Skurlong lets it go for Malecki. Malecki back out. It's going to be picked up by Irwin. Irwin gets picked off by Myers. They'll dump it down around for Skurlong. Skurlong into the near corner. Back for Irwin. Back around it goes for Whiteman. Whiteman throws one over for Yuska. He'll dump that one into the near corner. Malecki will go in and battle off. And he will body slam Gatto. That is a penalty coming up against Set. And Lestichin and Malecki will go back and forth. Malecki's going off for what one can only describe as a full-fledged body slam. 14:39 remaining in the third period, and Mars heads to the power play up by 1. Face-off one. Basola with a backhand shot off the face-off. Comes around. Skurlong will dump this one out past Zagorski. That'll go all the way down. Gowell will take it behind the cage. He'll drop it off for Turch. Turch with the go-ahead goal here in the third frame early. He'll bounce it up for Bowser. Bowser into the zone. Gets across the blue. Back down for Basola. Regroups. It'll be picked up and cleared out by Irwin. Back down it goes for Gowell. Turch will regroup. 1:31 remaining in the penalty. Here comes Mars. Passes it up. Goes past Stevenson, and that will be an icing call. That'll come all the way back down to the right of Gowell. 14:03 to go in regulation. 1:24 remaining in the power play. All right. Face-off comes back around. One up to Sommer. He's just going to dump that one back around for Zagorski. Zagorski throws one through. It's going to be picked up by Bowser. Up for Basola. Basola into the zone. Basola waits, thinks about it, throws one up to Turch. Turch down for Basola. Back to Bowser to Turch. Shot goes through, but save made, goes back behind the cage. Basola leaves one behind. It's going to be Sommer. Back for Basola. Up to Zagorski. Shot goes tip back. Bowser backhand. Save made. Rebound is in the near corner. Picked up by Bowser. Bowser skates it out. Shot gets defended. Rebound comes back up. Picked up, and Whiteman will take it. Whiteman. Yeah, offside. Whiteman and Whiteman. Blake Whiteman and Braden Whiteman. The sophomores. Back around Fitzgerald. 32 seconds remaining in the power play. Weaver steps back, picked up and cleared around out to Jack Weaver. He'll just dump it in behind. Going around looking for it is Shea Clark. Back for Weaver. Back down Cooper Stevens. It'll be cleared up. Fitzgerald loses it. Back to Weaver. It'll be cleared out and passed, and chasing it down is Weaver once again. He'll get back in. Penalty will expire. 12:39 remaining in the third frame. Mars up 4-3 here, leading his shots 19-17. Clark gets undressed by Fitzgerald. Fitzgerald Tries to throw one through. Back around Stellitano. Yuska has to chase this one back into his own zone. 12-20 remaining. They'll regroup. Out comes Shaler up for Stellitano. They'll get around a defender, but it's going to be Mars bringing it the other way. Oh, Santa gets lit up. And they're going to call a rough here on Stellitano. Fitzgerald is going to get the call, but he's beside himself on this. And it'll be Mars with another power play. 12:08 remaining. Fitzgerald heads off for a rough. And we'll have another power play coming up for the Planets. 19-17 shots now. Here we go. Mars with another opportunity here. Stevenson back to Turch. Turch shot blocked. Comes around. Opportunity for Basola. Basola waits, thinks about it, tries to get around a defender. Back up it goes. It'll be Stevenson. Gavin Stevenson back to the point. Zagorski around for Turch. Turch has Lecky in front of him. Goes off. Bowser shot tipped around. It goes in! Basola gets the goal, and it is 5-3. Hold on. Just wait 1 second. There's no call on the ice so far. The puck ended up in the net. Is this a possibility of a kicking motion? No goal. No goal. Possible kicking motion, I assume, on the play. We saw this in the first game as Pine Richland was trying to get back into it, and the net came off that exact net came off its moorings before the goal crossed the line. That net struck again as they'll bring it outside the zone. We'll have a face-off here. It's 1:39 remaining in the power play, 1:46 remaining in regulation. Mars leading 4-3 and on the advantage. Turch will carry it across. Brings it into the zone. Turch, wait, shot just wide of the cage. It gets blocked. Back down Stevenson. Okay, picked up and clocked out to the point. Picked up by Zagorski. Play it over to Bowser. They'll get back on side. Bowser throws one around for Turch. He just waves it across for Zagorski. He'll go in the top of the circle. Zagorski's shot will be blocked. Rebound comes in. Opportunity here for the Planets. Goes back out. Bowser on the half wall. And what do we got? That is off its moorings. So they'll regroup with 11:14 remaining in the third period. It will be 1:07 remaining in the power play for the Planets. Face-off comes back around, down for Weaver. Weaver in the near corner. Weaver shot, look for the tip in front. Opportunity, Weaver, score! Oh, he's big save there by Fox. Grant Weaver right on the doorstep. Clark giving it up. Stellitano gets muscled off by Clark inside of his net. Stevens can't get to it. Whiteman in the far corner. Whiteman back up. It's going to be picked up and tossed in by LaQuatra. It'll go to the side of goal. Gowell. It comes back out for Stevens. But it goes past him. Skurlong will have to regroup in his own zone. Skurlong back down. Glove down in center field by Clark. Clark with the grab back for Stevens. Gets Listitchin. Waits for it. Throws one through. Looking for the straight. It goes straight to Jack Weaver. It comes out of the zone. 17 seconds remaining in the power play. Comes back up for Clark. Clark. It's a little bit of pressure from Stellitano. Comes back down. Stellitano, act down, and it goes out front. Listitchin will bounce it back into the near corner. Back up for Stevens. Skurlong bounce it back into the far corner where we knocked off of Weaver's shin pads, and they'll just regroup in the neutral zone. Everybody will pile up. Penalties expired. Less than 10 minutes remaining in regulation. 4-3 Mars is leading here at the Baierl Toyota Ice Complex. It is a quarterfinal matchup in the PIHL Single A Division. Winner gets Chartiers Valley next week at 6:45 on Wednesday at the Island. So race for the Penguins Cup. The defending Penguin Cup champion Chartiers Valley Colts await. We already had one defending champion eliminated today, and that was the Pine Richland Rams. The Triple A state champions eliminated in our opening game. And right now, in Double A, looks like Thomas Jefferson is going to suffer that. Thomas Jefferson has suffered that same fate in Triple A, so we will have one defending champion waiting. Pitkins comes in one-on-one with Skirlong. Pitkins' shot just wide of the cage. Back up it goes. Back up for Stevenson. Shot looks for the tip in front. It does get a good tip on it, but it goes back into the corner by O'Leary. They'll regroup. It'll be tipped back out. Myers skates back into his own zone, drops it off for Stevenson. Stevenson will dump this one back out, goes past Fitzgerald. Yusko will have to regroup back in his own cage. A little bit of pressure. O'Leary passes it nicely for Pitkins, but it goes on net, and Fox will hold on to it. 8:46 remaining in the third frame. 21-17 are your shots in favor of the Mars Planets. 4-3 is your score. Jack Turch with the go-ahead goal for the Planets in the third frame. Malecki carrying it in. It's around Irwin's shot. Goes over the cage, back around for Whiteman. Be Blake Whiteman on the backhand around. Passes it off to Jack Turch, and he'll just clear this one in. Pass for Weaver. Jack Weaver falls down. Gavin Stevenson will have to regroup and throws this one around. Weaver comes in, tries to pick LaQuatra, but it's going to be taken over. Stevenson, nice little play to get the puck, but it's going to be a game of hot potato coming out the neutral zone as Zagorski. Back around for Whiteman, and it goes back out and dumped in by Summer. Turch brings it across the blue line, across the red line. Comes across the opposite blue, gets around to the top of the circles. Opportunity here. Turch shots sets off the side of the cage. Weaver had a hard time collecting that one as he went through. Coming into the zone is going to be Skirlong. Back around Zagorski. Skirlong one hands into the half wall. Bowser all over him. The captain's group on the half wall, and we'll have a hold by Gowell and another face-off. 7:31 remaining in the third frame. Let's just look in and see what we've got. South Fayette now leading 4-0 over Mount Lebanon. Avonworth 5-1 over Quaker, 5-2 over Quaker Valley. Deer Lakes defeating Carrick 7-2. Baierl defeating Elizabeth Forward 7-3. Cathedral Prep final going at Armstrong. 3 games left on the docket tonight. We got one of them here, and it's the closest one. Back around it goes. Basola will chase it down, and that's icing. That was close. Face-off come all the way back down the Gowell. 7:24 remaining in regulation here. Back around, Basola will backhand this one down. Shot on and clear. Clark hit behind the cage. Weaver carrying it out on the backhand past Basola. And that'll go back. They'll regroup one more time for another faceoff. 6:56 remaining in the third frame. What has been a very entertaining back and forth game here at the Baierl Toyota Ice Complex. Once again, I'm Brian Mitchell. This is TenbandTV. Thank you for joining me here on this Monday evening. Cleared out and picked up in the backhand by Summer. Goes back behind, and it'll be Turch. Turch around, looking to get out. It's going to be Summer one more time. He'll clear that one back in. They'll play catch for a little bit. Back around, looking for Myers out for Listitchen. And we go. Big hit in the corner. Listitchen will walk away as we get back out. Whiteman passes out. Irwin loses the puck. Oh, had Pitkins wide open, but could not finish up the play. In comes Marston. Marston's picked by Zagorski. Pitkins loses the puck. Skurlong will come into the zone. Pitkins runs him into the wall. Listitchen gives him a little bit of pressure, and Turch will get into the action here. Back down it goes, and cleared out is Myers. Myers gets around it to Stellatano. Myers, top of the circle. Myers' shot just wide of the cage. Goes back into the near corner. They'll regroup. It'll be Turch dumping this one down. Picked up by Pitkins. That one comes down Skurlong. Into the zone, and they'll regroup. That's going to be Angelo. Angelo dumped this one in behind for Crowley. For Stellatano. Angelo battles with Turch behind the cage. Up for Skurlong. Skurlong battles down Stellatano's shot. He scores! I'm not sure if Fitzgerald got that on the opposite side. The reaction tells me he did, but we have a tie hockey game here at Baierl. .5:12 remaining here in the third frame. We are still going here. Coming down into the zone, it will be Weaver. Opportunity, Bowser throws one through the crease. Back to Weaver. He'll throw one down behind for Bowser. They'll regroup back down half wall. Back looking for Bowser, but it's going to come in the other way. It's going to be Stellatano. Stellatano into the zone. He'll go back, bounce one off of the cage. Opportunity coming the other way. Weaver dumps one out. Looking to try to get this one to Stevenson. They'll go back and forth. Into the zone. They picked up by Shea Clark. Weaver tries to keep that one in the zone, but it gets dumped back out for Turch. Turch bringing it in. Bounces one up off the near glass. It comes out back out for Yuska. Back out it goes for Skurlong. Load up this. Back out Skurlong for Turch. That'll be cleared back in. Down for Stevens. We'll go back down for Weaver. Grant Weaver brings to the top of the circles. Weaver on the backhand, loses the puck. Coming the other way, Irwin. Irwin for Malecki. Malecki goes on and they will come in. .3:16 to go. We'll have another face-off outside the zone. Peckering's going to drop the puck. Pickering will drop the puck. Listitchen and Angelo will step in. One by Listitchen, back for Myers, who jumps it back to Turch. Back to Myers. It bounces around looking for Pitkins, but it does go all the way back to LaQuatra. They'll regroup back to the point. Dumped in. Zagorski plays it through the neutral zone up for Pitkins. It goes off his stick. And they'll regroup as Sommer has a hard time playing it on the half wall. It gets cleared in by Fitzgerald. Fitzgerald gets rubbed off by Myers. They'll regroup, go back and forth. Listician goes in, helps out Myers. Back around it goes. Pitkins into the zone. Pitkins across the red, across the blue. They go in behind the cage. Sommer battles off, but it's going to be Myers collecting the puck on the half wall. Passes it up. Clark shot. Tipped off of Fox. Rebound comes up. Listician with 2:33 remaining in regulation. Tied score 4-4. Myers shot. Save made. Rebound blocked. So it's a block in front. It's going to be picked up. Shot on Clark. Looks for the tip in front. Pitkins get hits in the front. No call on the play. Back out it goes. Stellatano. Looks for the tip around. Goes through. LaQuatro's not going for it. Angelo. They'll regroup. Picked up by Myers. Myers tries to throw it up for Jack Weaver. Nobody home. So it'll go back all the way around. And it'll be Yuskin. Yuska will bring it in. Blocked by Gatto. Back out goes. Opportunity here. Comes up. Stellatano was all alone. That can be picked up. They'll bounce it around Gatto. Stellatano. 1:52 remaining in regulation. Here we go. Stevenson going the other way. Gut check time for both these squads. Stevenson into the zone. Has it shot just wide of the net. Weaver tries to get it on the half wall. Gets there first. Pounces it up for Bowser. Bowser battles along. It's going to be picked up and carrying it in is Stevenson. Stevenson over for Turch. Turch into the zone. Shot. Save. Well, it's blocked in front. Turch can get another opportunity. Tries to throw one around. Waits in front. Throws one behind. Picked up. Zagorski shot. Tipped through. Goes wide of the cage. 1:23 remaining in regulation. Here we go around. It's going to be Weaver chasing it down. Weaver gets to it first. Opportunity. Bowser shot. Fox with the save. Rebound comes back out in front. It's going to be picked up. And Yuska will just dump this one down for an icing call with 1:10 remaining in regulation. 4-4 is your score here at the Baierl Toyota Ice Complex. Well, isn't this just a fun one? Face off to the right of Fox. Rebound comes back around. Weaver's shot is blocked. Rebound for Basola. Basola waits, comes to the top of the circle. Shot just blocked in front. An opportunity coming the other way. It's going to be Irwin. Irwin coming 2-on-2. Turch is there. It's going to be dumped into the corner. Irwin will collect it. It goes past for Zagorski. Zagorski on the backhand. Has Turch with him. 4-4, 48 seconds remaining here in the frame. Back it goes. Turch passes it up. Gets it out of the zone. Picked up by Sommer. Sommer will dump this one all the way back in behind everybody. Zagorski, 37 seconds remaining. Waits, throws this one out past off of Basola. That goes on net. 31 seconds remaining. A little bit of pressure here from Stevens. It's going to be picked up and out of the zone. 23 seconds to go. Turch across. Picked up by Zagorski. Zagorski carries it in. Zagorski looking for Weaver. It goes all the way across. Weaver does get it. Back down for Basola. 12 seconds remaining. Up to the point. Zagorski waits. Throws one around. Turch waits. Shot. Tipped in front. It goes in! Stevens was walking in front. Was it Weaver? It looks like it was Weaver. 5.6 seconds remaining. Mars leads 5-4. What planet are you from? Holy moly! Timeout. Shaler. If not to bring down the anticipation. It was just an innocent shot on net. Grant Weaver got wood on it. Put it behind Fox. Nothing Fox could do about that shot. He played a heck of a game so far. 20 saves on 25 shots for the junior starter. You're going to have a quick snatch and grab here for the Shaler Titans. Gowell has to be ready. 5.6 to go. Regulation. Mars now leads 5-4. Listichin will step in with Fitzgerald. It'll be Fitzgerald, Malecki, LaQuatra, Stiltello, Whiteman, and Skurlong. But Mars is going to collect it, and the Planets are heading to the island. And it is breaking down in a corner. They're going to break up whatever's going on here. The Planet's got to watch because you got to play a game next week. You could still get in trouble here. You could still get suspended for next week. Some of these seniors, it's not going to be anything. And some of the juniors, sophomores, and freshmen will still get suspended next year. But the big one is Mars. You got to make sure you're not going to be suspended for that big matchup next week. So keep your heads up. But ladies and gentlemen, the Mars Planets are headed to the island to face the Chartiers Valley Colts next Wednesday at 6:45 p.m. I thank you all for watching this evening on TenbandTV. I'm Brian Mitchell. Enjoy the remainder of your night. Take care, and I will see you in the rink.